The African savanna shimmered under the burning sun. Waves of golden grass swayed in the hot wind, carrying with it the cries of distant birds and the smell of dust. Against the rough bark of an old acacia tree sat a young ranger girl, wrists bound tightly behind her back with coarse rope. Her skin was raw, her lips cracked from thirst. Poachers had tied her here, abandoning her to the wilderness. Every second felt like an eternity, every sound in the grass a reminder that predators ruled this land. She twisted her wrists until blood ran down her arms, but the knots were unyielding. Tears stung her eyes as hopelessness pressed down on her chest. Just then, the grass shifted, and her heart nearly stopped. Out of the haze of heat, a massive shadow emerged. A lion. His golden mane caught the sunlight like fire, his amber eyes fixed directly on her trembling figure. The girl's body froze. Her breath came in shallow gasps as the lion approached, each paw pressing heavily into the dust. She pressed herself back against the tree, ropes cutting deeper into her flesh. This was the end. She knew it. The king of beasts had found her defenseless. But then her eyes caught something unusual. A deep scar ran across his right shoulder, jagged but healed. Her mind raced back to a memory. Months ago, she had rescued a lioness injured by a trap, stitching her wounds and protecting her cubs. In the distance that day, a massive male lion had stood watching, silent, protective, and unblinking. This scar, it was the same lion. A spark of hope flickered inside her. Could he remember? His gaze lingered not with hunger, but with something strangely familiar. His ears twitched at her trembling whisper. "It's you, isn't it?" The lion lowered his massive head until his nose almost brushed against her skin. His hot breath fanned her cheek, carrying the scent of wild grass and blood from past hunts. She shut her eyes, waiting for the fatal bite. But instead, she felt the rope shift. His teeth had closed on the fibers. Careful, deliberate. Slowly, he tugged. The rope fibers strained, but did not give way. He tried again, gnawing, his sharp canines pulling with surprising gentleness. The girl's eyes filled with tears of disbelief. Her heart raced, not with fear now, but with something else. Awe. She could hardly breathe as the beast worked patiently, almost as if he understood she needed help. For a brief, fragile moment, she felt safe. The king of the savannah was not here to end her life, but perhaps to save it. That moment was shattered by a sound that made her blood run cold. High-pitched, cruel laughter echoed through the tall grass. The lion froze, ears perked, teeth pulling away from the rope. Out of the shadows, dark shapes appeared, moving low and fast. A clan of hyenas. Their glowing yellow eyes locked onto the girl, helpless and bound. Their lips curled back in cruel grins, teeth sharp and dripping with saliva. The girl gasped, heart hammering, as the circle closed tighter. The hyenas cackled louder, mocking, savoring the fear in her eyes. She tried to shrink back against the tree, but there was no escape. The lion stepped forward, mane bristling, tail lashing the ground. His muscles tensed, a low growl rumbling deep in his chest. The hyenas had chosen the wrong prey. With a roar that split the sky, the battle for survival began. The hyenas lunged as one, their bodies leaping from all directions. Dust exploded as claws raked and teeth snapped. The lion struck with fury, his massive paw sending one hyena sprawling across the dirt. His jaws clamped onto another's back, shaking violently before tossing it aside. But for every hyena forced back, two more rushed in. Their laughter rose, cruel and relentless. The girl sobbed as she watched, helpless, her body trembling with fear. She could do nothing, not even lift a hand to help. The lion roared again, his mane flying as he swung with crushing power. His golden fur turned red where teeth tore into his flesh, but his stance did not falter. He fought not for food, not for dominance, but for her. The battle dragged on, the air thick with dust and the metallic scent of blood. Hyenas lunged onto his back, clawing into his mane. The lion rolled violently, slamming one beneath his weight. Another darted close, snapping at his throat, but with lightning speed, his jaws snapped shut around its neck, forcing it to retreat with a pitiful cry. The girl's tears blurred her vision as she whispered broken words of prayer. Every roar, every strike, every wound the lion endured was a shield for her fragile life. For long, endless minutes the chaos raged. Finally, bloodied and defeated, the hyenas began to retreat, limping back into the grass with shrill yelps. The savannah grew quiet again. The lion stood tall, chest heaving, golden fur streaked with crimson, and then, slowly, he turned back to her. The girl's eyes widened as the lion stepped closer again. His sides heaved with each breath, but his eyes burned with determination. She twisted her wrists desperately against the bark, fraying the fibers, her skin raw and bleeding. The lion lowered his head, examining the rope once more. His teeth clamped down, and with one sharp pull, the fibers gave way. The rope, he snapped. The girl collapsed forward into the dust, gasping as freedom surged back into her body. She was free, free because of him. Relief barely had time to sink in when the ground trembled with new footsteps. Heavy paws padded through the tall grass. From the shadows emerged a pride of lions, lionesses, and younger males, drawn by the scent of blood and the sound of battle. Their golden eyes fixed hungrily on the girl, who now sat weak and exposed in the dirt. Her chest tightened with terror. She could not run, not after hours of captivity. To them, she was nothing more than prey. The lion roared, mane bristling, planting himself firmly between her and his pride. His wounds bled, his body shook with exhaustion, but his defiance was unshakable. The pride circled slowly, testing him. Their growls filled the air, a chorus of menace. The scarred lion bared his teeth, his deep roar splitting the air. Dust swirled around them as he stood unmovable, a wall of muscle and fury. The girl's breath caught in her throat as she watched the impossible, one lion against many. His message was clear: she is under my protection. The standoff stretched into eternity. Finally, one by one, the pride backed away, retreating into the horizon. His roar had won. The battle was over. Silence returned to the savannah. The girl lay trembling in the grass, wrists raw, body weak. Slowly, she lifted her gaze. The lion turned to face her one last time, his mane glowing in the fading sunlight, his scar shining like a medal of survival. He stepped closer, lowering his massive head until it brushed her shoulder. Trembling, she raised her bruised hand and touched his fur. For a moment, the world disappeared. Predator and human, bound not by fear, but by trust. Her tears fell freely, whispering her gratitude. The lion gave a soft rumble, not a growl, but something gentler. Then, with quiet dignity, he turned away. His golden figure disappeared into the tall grass, leaving her breathless beneath the vast African sky. And she knew one truth would stay with her forever. Even the fiercest of creatures never forget an act of kindness.